welcome to Arcadiology, episode 36, featuring DBZ V.R.V.S. Join us as we uncover the 7 Dragon Balls. Your hosts are Majin Brad, Super Saiyan Sky,
Yeah?
KO Ken Kyle, and Sun Jun Jun.
What the hell is happening? I hate you all.
Dude,
I'm
no
John, come on.
combo break that.
I didn't get anything from you.
All right, I'll give you a little. That's all you get.
Good enough, good enough. Everyone's vocal cords still intact for the episode. Got another hour or so to talk here.
Yeah, I'm good. I could scream
Kyle's
for another
good.
hour.
Me and
Oh,
Kyle are the
yeah,
only
man.
ones that really powered up, but
Say Krillin's really easy on the vocal cords.
yeah. All right, boys, let's talk about some video games. Who's playing anything new this week? Are we still running by the same old?
We're still doing same old, man. A little bit of Path
Same
of
old?
Exile too. Nothing crazy. Yeah, really nothing's changed since last time. Just kind of made it into the end game. Me and our buddy Ed just been doing some mapping together.
How's that ridiculous skill tree coming?
I mean, it's completely fine if you follow a guide. As soon as you veer off the path on your own, it gets a little squirrely.
It's not
How
that bad if
many
you let
of,
someone else do it.
Yeah.
All right, Elon, calm down. How many of the things do you have unlocked out of however many total there are?
Well, you don't get all of them, obviously. There's so many of them.
Yeah,
So, like,
oh my god, you'd
it's-
be
it's
there
your-
for years.
yeah, it's just your basic kind of like, you know, you get a level up, you get a skill point. So you can only end up with like 100 and like, I don't know, it's 20 or something like that.
Do you know how many skills there are total on that board, on that skill tree to unlock, though? Is there a number? Does that number exist?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a finite amount of those nodes, but all those nodes aren't skills. Those are all like, you know, like modifiers to skills.
Oh yeah, but how many nodes are there on that tree is what I'm wondering.
Oh, I don't know. I never counted them. I'm sure you could look it up.
That'd be a crazy number for sure.
I think it's the same amount of stars there are in the sky, so that's a good comparison.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, let's look up and start counting.
Start
Oh,
counting, boys.
He's running that Sagittarius build, I see.
Yeah, dude.
All right, Sky, how about you?
Oh, man. Same old with me, just my same old boring Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Just trying to run through the events that they keep popping up with. Yeah, collecting some new cards, beefing up my deck, you know. Trying to keep the grind going.
Not boring, just consistent. That's all.
True, true. Waiting for that Pokemon update here. Didn't you say they leaked like trading or something like that?
As of this recording, trading just dropped, but new packs are dropping tomorrow, so yeah.
Ooh. So I'll have to check that out. Hopefully they come out with like another event. Something that makes me want to actually like battle.
Yeah, sometimes there's some downtime in between. It's kind of like, there's nothing to do. You just kind of hop in, get something, and hop back out.
Yeah. I'm pretty pumped to see the new cards, try out some new decks.
Switch up the meta.
Uh-huh, hopefully.
Yeah.
I give you credit, Sky. I don't think I've ever actually found a mobile game that has kept my attention for more than a month or two at a time. I feel like that's like your primary source of gaming is mobile games.
Pretty much, yeah. It just, I don't know, it's convenient. I can
It's
play them
easy.
at work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, this ain't the first game, man. Me and Kyle do the same thing. Like, we find like a sick mobile game we like. We'll play it for years.
I think I've been
Jeez.
playing the one that I'm currently playing for probably like 2 years.
That's
Yeah, what,
crazy.
the Abyss?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that game's cool. I played it for a little bit. I don't know. I'm not sure what keeps me in a game, but I get bored of games like super fast. Like I was playing that with Kyle. Like I played it a lot when he found it. I don't know. I randomly just stopped playing it, just dropped the game for some reason, got bored, or I jump between games so much, so like I'm kind of surprised I'm still playing these games for as long as I have. I actually took a break from Duel Links for like over a year or something. I got bored of it for some reason. I don't know why. And then I just randomly got back into it like a couple months ago.
Yeah, only mobile game I really stick with is Roller Coaster Tycoon, but that's like just a port of an actual real game, you know? Like actual
Yeah.
games that are made for mobile. I don't know, man. Like I'll get into them for a month or two and then I'll just kind of be over it.
We get hooked on a game, dude. We're like in it forever. For so long. Even if I stop playing it, like, yeah, I could wait months or like years and then just randomly open a game up again and be like, yeah, I could play this again. I have like, I don't even know. Probably have like 40 or 50 different games on my phone that I just randomly jump in and out of every so often.
Jeez.
Like I'll play it, I'll get bored of it, see something new. I'll jump on that game for a little while. And then like, I don't know, 6 months later, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that game. That was kind of fun. Let's open that back up.
You're like the epitome of that got games on your phone meme. That kid would love you.
He's a jackpot.
It's only ever like 1 or 2 at a time though. Like I don't know. I get bored of them just as fast as I get back into them.
Yeah. I'm surprised your phone still has storage. You got 40 to 50 games just chilling on there.
Yeah. A lot of them I don't even know if I'll ever touch some of those, but I leave them on there just in case because I remember having fun with them at one point. So I don't know. My interests change all the time. Like right now I'm into like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. I'm doing like the trading card thing. Every so often I'll load up like a little RPG or something. So it depends.
And I'm like the opposite. If I stop playing a game, it's just like I'm never coming back to it. Even when I want to, I try to get back in. I'm like, I miss too much. I can't do it anymore. Yeah, there's only a couple games that I really got into on mobile. I mean, this Pokemon Pocket card game is pretty fun. But before that, the only other game I really played was Fire Emblem Heroes. Played that for like 2 or 3 years straight. And after I got off it, I'm like, I hop back in once in a while just to like grab like the orbs and stuff they give you and look at like some of the new characters. And it's like a whole book trying to read like all their effects and stuff. It's insane. Like, dude, I can't even comprehend this anymore. I'm out.
Oh, that's what a Yu-Gi-Oh card looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even that game, Fire Emblem Heroes. I played that with you for like quite a while. Like we both got into that. I was into that game pretty hard for a while, man. And then I don't know, at what point something triggers. I just don't like it anymore. I get bored of stuff.
Yeah.
But it happens real fast. Like as soon as I notice I'm getting kind of bored, it's like within 1 or 2 days, like I just drop the game somehow.
Just like that, and never seen again.
Or at least for like 3 years, and I'll load it back up.
I was gonna say, by the sounds of it, sounds like you're gonna be picking it back up again pretty soon. Then
overdue.
B keeps talking about it. I might about to drop Yu-Gi-Oh for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's your method. Stick to your method.
Well, I haven't played too much this week. I was kind of busy messing with just like my arcade. I ordered some new parts for it. I just have like an old PC in it that's running like all the emulation and stuff. So I bought a graphics card for that pretty cheap, threw some extra RAM in it, and just start testing out more like demanding 3D games that normally it couldn't run. Now I'm able to. So eventually, like I was saying to you guys, I want to get some light guns for it so we can. I mean, you guys won't have them, but we can always play some light gun games over here for the pod, some arcade ones that I really want to get into. It'll be a lot of fun, but until we get the equipment, we kind of really can't do it because you can do it with a controller, but I mean, it's not the same. So just working on upgrading that mostly. And then I busted out my old Retroid Pocket 2. Probably got it like 3 years ago, roughly. And then since I got my Steam Deck, I really haven't touched it. So I just figured I'd repurpose it, and I turned it into a arcade emulation handheld. So pretty much have all the arcade games from most of the same stuff that's on my arcade, but now I can throw it in there, throw it in my bag, and play it at work pretty easily. I don't got to worry about trying to find ROMs every time I want to play another arcade game. So that's pretty much dedicated for that. So that'll help me out a bit.
That'd be cool. Have some light gun parties.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick. There's a lot. I mean, there's obviously some of the basic ones that we know about, like the mainstream ones, but there's on my arcade, I think it has a playlist of like 80 arcade light gun games. So there's all kinds of cool stuff in there to be fun to check out. But yeah, the only game I really dipped into much was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So I was found out that there is an arcade port of it, which is almost identical to the regular console version. So that'll give us a nice excuse we could play that for the podcast someday. So I'll put that in here eventually because you need a good reason to play Sonic 2.
Spoiler alert for the future. I'm down to play that for sure.
Heck yeah, we'll add it to our extremely long list of games, and maybe we'll pick it someday.
Yeah, I heard you playing that at game night.
Yep, was testing out that Retroid Pocket, making sure the emulation's all good, and I stumbled across that, and I was pretty surprised it was on there, so it's going to be pretty fun.
As soon as I heard that funky bass, I was like, dude, Sonic.
Yeah, nothing hits like the Sonic, just the first level, I mean, the music, it just...
Oh, man.
But other than just messing around with some emulation stuff, getting stuff to work, and not getting light guns because they're too expensive, that's pretty much it for me. That leaves you, Jordan. What do you got for us this week?
Of course, we got all the normal stuff that I'm always pretty much playing at any given time. The one kind of new game I'll add in here is I'm not gonna say the name, and that's because just in case. Of course, Brad, you were just on our friends' podcast at the old Cable Club over there, the Cable Club League. I'm gonna be on their show here in March, and so I kind of hopped into my game that I'm gonna be doing for their show. And again, I don't know if they really give out the titles that they're going to be doing ahead of time, so I'm just not going to say what the game is, but just know it's a longer game, so I just went ahead and started playing it now. It is a game I'm extremely familiar with, so I actually am already pretty far pretty far through it anyway, so I I could have probably waited an extra month to start it, but that's all right. But yeah, just having fun playing that one, and I even named a few characters after the guys from the show. So I got a Dan, a Don, and a Steve, and I got one named after
Nice.
me. And I needed one more character too, so I just named it Arcadiology just for the heck of it. But so everyone's incorporated into this one, and besides for like the Radiant Dawns and the Pokemon and stuff, I've been spending a good bit of time playing that. So about it for me though.
Alrighty, boys, we ready to move on then? Everyone all powered up?
Yeah?
Kaioken times 10 over here, dude. Let's do it.
Powered up? What do you mean, Brother B?
Oh, we're about to find out. Let's get into some DBZ V.R.V.S.
Dragon Ball Z. Dragon, come get
Released in the arcades in 1994, this is a third-person fighting game developed by Banpresto and Sega. There's 5 different characters you can pick from, including Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, and Future Trunks, each with their own unique endings. So you fight through 6 one-on-one battles and collect a Dragon Ball for each victory, and then the game introduces a new villain named Ozotto, which apparently these fights take place during the 9-day wait of the Cell games, from what I understand. Although, of course, this isn't canon, but that's roughly where it slots in. So there was a long stretch of games we had here that we had a lot of DBZ references to. So after all this time we're actually playing at DBZ games, this fill that void for anyone?
It finally comes full circle. Yeah, this was it was good to hop into something I know and love so much already.
Well, before we get too deep into the actual game, let's just talk about a little bit of DBZ on its own here. I'm just curious, do you guys remember the first episode of DBZ you've watched? Because I just have like a core memory of I remember watching one.
Oh, man. I vaguely remember hanging out with my buddy Chuck back in the day when I was like maybe like late elementary school age or so. And I didn't really know anything about Dragon Ball, but he always watched it like when it was on Toonami after school every day. And I think I wanted him to kind of like introduce me to it a little bit. And I think at that point in time they were on Namek, but it wasn't like they weren't fighting Frieza quite yet, but they were on Namek. That's all I kind of remember.
Weren't they always on Namek back then? It was just the constant reruns. It's like that's all you got to see for a long time.
They were on Namek for like probably like 1 day their time, but like 5 months ours.
It's crazy how many times that show like repeated. You'd catch up to what they had, and then it just restarted again. You have to watch it all over again.
I definitely remember getting addicted though, and I had to watch it every single day after coming home from school.
I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I think I did watch it from the very first episode. I might have watched the first episode first, like when Raditz came to Earth and all that.
Dang, you caught it at the right time.
I probably caught it on one of them reruns. But mainly, like you said, I just remember like all the Namek shenanigans. Just they were always running around on Namek, looking for Dragon Balls, getting slapped around.
Yeah.
Vegeta's coming, like Ginyu's on his way at some point. Like I just remember all the Namek craziness going on. Gohan getting his little potential unlocked or whatever at Guru.
Yeah, I specifically remember, I don't know the episode, like the name of it or anything, but it was also, of course, a Namek episode. It was when Krillin and Gohan were like sneaking up over a cliff, and I think it was like Frieza and stuff down below. They were like messing with the other Nameks and stuff, trying to get the Dragon Balls, but I just remember like that specific moment. I came home and watched it just on TV. I was like, huh. I think Sky probably obviously already watched it before that, but I didn't know much about it. That was the first one I actually seen. I was like, all right, I can check this out, and then obviously, like Jordan coming home every day after school, just waiting to catch that new episode. I remember, I don't know if it was like, I want to say, it was either before or right after Sailor Moon. I just always remember that playing too, so I don't know which one was first, but I just remember both of those back to back.
I just remember it was on Toonami.
Yeah, yep.
I refused to miss an episode. Once I got into it, dude. I mean, I mentioned Gatehouse Games before in the podcast. That was like that's that card shop around here that I would go there every Thursday evening, and I would make damn sure that I had Dragon Ball recorded on the VCR when I was going out there, so I could watch it when I came home. And then there was also, I think there was like 1 day every week, my grandparents used to own a bar, and I would have to go out there, with my parents whenever they were working the one night every week, and I would, as soon as I got there, I would take the remote control and go claim the one television at like the side of the restaurant area and just sit there in the bench and watch Dragon Ball whenever I was at the bar. I would not miss it, man.
Couldn't, especially when the episode with Goku going Super Saiyan finally hyped that up so much. Finally get to see that one. I remember going to my cousin TJ's house. Well, the three of our cousins TJ's house. I'd go to his house after school. I think his mom was like watching me for a while there. And I remember going straight to the TV, and I was like, dude, I can't miss this episode. I think TJ was like out skateboarding or something. I was like, dude, I'm going to sit here and not miss this episode. There's no way.
I don't blame you.
Man, that was a crazy moment back in the
It's
day.
still hype. It's still so hype.
I remember watching that, just sitting there glued to the TV, man. He's fighting Frieza for like 30 episodes.
In reality, it's like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. That's what they say in the show. Like, the whole Namek fight was like 5 minutes.
The planet's going to explode in 5 minutes. 13 episodes later. The planet's going to explode in 1 minute.
That must just be like how fast they actually fight in the show. Maybe we're just seeing like a slowed down version.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm pretty sure like I was always like 20 push-ups away from going Super Saiyan myself.
You're so
What
close.
stopped you?
Every time, I don't know, every time the episodes would come on, I'd be like, today's the day, dude. If I bang out like 20 more of these push-ups, I think I'm doing it.
Oh, you know, we definitely all tried to go Super Saiyan at one point in time, right?
Of course. I'm still trying to this day. Tried at the beginning of the
man.
episode. It didn't
I'm
work.
going to the gym right after this. Power up.
I don't know, guys. I've been trying, but I think I might just be a Namek or something.
You might be a
Oh,
Namekian,
man.
bro.
It might be
Namekian.
Namek. Yeah, it might be Namekian.
You're not very green or bald or buff.
Ooh, you can't say that in 2025, dude.
I'm bald. I can
He
say
said
it.
the B word. He said the B word.
Those are
Oh.
my people. I can say it. I'm bald.
You're follicle deficient.
I just shaved my head like an hour ago.
Oh my god. I got a quick question though. This anybody listening to can answer this. What was you guys' favorite soundtrack of DBZ? Have you guys heard different? Like
Man.
like the Kai or like the Japanese soundtrack and all that.
I mean, the Bruce Falconer one or whatever, that's the one I believe that I would have always listened to. The one with like
Yeah.
more of the metal sound to it rather than the Japanese,
Yeah, dude.
definitely.
That's still my favorite. Some people
Absolutely.
trash that. They say it's like the worst. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's like one of those extremely polarizing things. It's like everyone was so many people on one side and so many on the other and like completely against the opposite end.
Yeah, I know we had the discussion not long ago, Sky, about the intro themes where you preferred the American Rock the Dragon and I prefer the Japanese Headshot song, but to each their own with that one.
I don't know. It's not bad. You have like a different feel for the show, I guess. Like I think the Japanese stuff sounds too happy sometimes.
I'll tell you what really got me into that intro theme was playing the Kakarot video game because it opens with that and has like that's like the very first time you play Kakarot, it opens with that song and you get to see video footage of the game being played and it just looks so incredible and I was so absorbed into it. I was like, I love every second of everything that's happening right now.
Well, considering I edited this episode, all the listeners know I prefer Rock the Dragon because that's what they heard on their way in here. So,
Man,
Yes.
yep,
so
I think
American.
It's just the one I'm used to, so.
yeah,
I think even that I don't like. I don't attribute that to like nostalgia or anything. Like I grew up on the Toonami version. Like obviously that was
Yeah.
like the Falconer soundtrack. I forget when they started. Certain episode they started using his track or whatever. But even going back, I try to listen to like all of them and stuff. Like I'd still just prefer the way like his music is. Like the more kind of rock, metal, progressive kind of stuff. Has like the cool keyboard synth and all that stuff. I like it.
yeah. Especially when it gets to Cell, I love some of that stuff. It's crazy.
Man, it's so good.
At first, I thought you were asking like a specific favorite song from the show, and I was sitting here racking my brain trying to think of some
Oh,
good stuff.
I mean, yeah, just soundtrack in general. Like I liked the Falconer like soundtrack for as long as it lasted.
Alrighty, I guess we can talk about this game now after we got all that out of the way. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
All right, let's just start off with the basic stuff here. Let's talk about the controls and general gameplay. So there's a button for a left punch and a button for a right punch. Then you have another button that lets your character dash in or dash away to the opponent. You can hold in forward to block, and you can press left and right to kind of dodge, which I don't think I really ever utilized that. Did you guys really like use the dodge feature at all?
No, I just blocked.
No, I tried to. I wasn't good enough to utilize it.
No, I can't time that properly.
At one point, I just kept spamming that and kept flying away from them. They kept throwing stuff like I was just trying to run away.
Are you talking about the button, or are you talking about just like leaning left and right?
Oh, I meant the button that you like fly away from them.
Oh, I definitely use that a lot.
I used the hell out. I may as well
Yeah.
have broken that button on my controller. I used it so much. I didn't use the leaning left and right.
Oh, I definitely leaned left and right a couple of times.
Got your lean on?
I actually didn't know you could fly away from them.
Get out of here.
Oh my god, dude. I relied on that. I lived off of that.
Dude, what are you talking about? How would I know that?
How would
By
you
pressing
know?
the buttons, dude. There's only 3 buttons to press.
I mean, even there's a left punch and a right punch. I really didn't notice that it made a difference. You can just press one and you would still use both hands. So I don't know if it's kind of like some of
Yeah.
those arcade games where it's just faster to go back and forth, maybe. But yeah, I didn't even notice the difference between the 2 punch buttons.
Same here. Just either way, you just mash one of them, he's gonna unleash a flurry of punches.
Yeah. And the screen in this game is weird. It's split right down the middle, so you can see from your perspective and the opponent's. I mean, kind of weird considering if you're going against a computer. I mean, I guess 2-player makes sense. So you can kind of both see your own screen, but I don't know. I just kind of focused so much on my screen, I even forgot the other half of it was there. But it was kind of weird just to look over and you can see like from the opponent's point of view.
Didn't we play another game before that had like a weird split screen feature that wasn't Zybots or something, was it?
Yeah, Zybots was definitely sectioned off weird.
Yeah, and you had a view of like another player's thing that was just there for no reason on the screen. I think
Yeah.
Kyle mentioned that. Like, why is this box here? I don't need it.
Yeah, it definitely was Zybots. That one was similar like that. In this game, how you can have multiplayer, so you can fight against someone like an actual player. I was messing around with it, and I joined in a second player just to kind of like test some of the buttons out. And I did it when I was like towards the end of the game because I was kind of just messing around with different characters and stuff. And then once I beat the other player, it starts the game back over. So you have to like reset back to the first battle, which I was like, what? This is garbage. I'd be so mad if I was in an arcade and that happened. Some asshole just forces you to restart from the beginning for no reason.
I mean, that might be what triggers Super Saiyan, Kyle, if you want to go try that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it actually.
Lose all your progress. After 20 push-ups, you got it.
In the original cabinet, well, maybe not the original, but there was a special edition released that had motion controls. So you'd actually like hook up to it and like punch and I can't imagine it would be that good for being in 94. That'd be kind of crazy to even try out.
I wonder how accurate the controls are. Like, I know it sounds cool, but I mean, it's not going to punch, you know what I mean, as fast as you punch. It's going to have like its own locked-in animation and all that.
Yeah, and for the way you do the moves in this game, it's a lot of just like rotating the joystick really fast in circles. I don't understand how they translate that if to an actual motion controls. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe it's voice activated and you're yelling and powering up and stuff, but I don't really know.
Oh my God. You imagine everybody lined up.
Be a loud arcade.
Ah! Everyone just screaming.
Dude, that'd be awesome. It'd be so dumb, but it'd be so awesome.
I'm just imagining the dirty looks across the arcade.
Everyone's just throwing punches as fast as they can.
And screaming, grunting, and yelling, and powering up and punching each other. Sounds like fun.
That sucks, man. You go in there with like you feeling sick, you got a sore throat, you can't play that game.
Yeah.
Not allowed to use any moves.
And one other thing, there's you basically have 2 bars of HP. They're kind of treated individually. So if your first HP bar is almost gone and you take like a strong attack, it'll like say you're down. It kind of stuns you for a bit, but it doesn't bleed into your second bar. So that kind of was a little weird to get used to. Sometimes I'd be trying to like throw off something real strong and it would do like an inch of damage because they've just finished off their first bar, which I didn't really understand, like the down. And then there was something else that came up. I forget what it said. It
Is
said
that
like
chance?
chance. Yeah, I didn't know what that meant. Did you guys figure that out?
No idea.
I think it's your opportunity to attack them. Kind of like punch out, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like they're stunned.
Okay.
It didn't last very long, though.
No, not at all. I never really took advantage of it. Just kind of, I did what I would normally do, regardless if that popped up or not. So with the 5 characters here, did you guys stick with one, or did you kind of hop around between them?
I played Trunks only.
Only
I tried
Trunks?
them all.
Yep.
That's rough. That's the character that I thought was the hardest to use. His moves were too complicated.
Weren't they all the same? I thought you just spin your thing in a circle.
No, they all had their. I mean, they were similar, but there were different ways to do different moves per character. What'd you say you did, Jordan?
I played a good handful of them. When I actually played through the whole way, though, like my official run, I used Vegeta for every fight. but I kind of messed with a few of them here and there.
Yeah, I tried everybody out, but I mainly stuck with Vegeta.
Vegeta's my boy, dude. He'll always be my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Even though I know, Jordan, you hate the original voice actor, but I still think he's cool.
Yeah, dude. What's the newer one? Chris. It's Chris something. It's like the more
Sabat.
like modern one.
Yeah,
Sabat.
Chris
Yeah,
Sabat.
he's sick. I like him.
I thought the other guys was cool in the Saiyan saga. For the time, it was neat.
Dude, it was like the higher pitched, like super raspy voice.
Yeah.
Nappa.
Yeah, but I did try them all as well. I thought Goku was the worst. Like, his moves took too long to charge up. I sent you guys a little cheat sheet of, like, the actual how to do the specials. Did anyone actually try to mess with them? Or did you just kind of go in and spam and try to win that way?
Barely at all. I mean,
Barely.
my very first playthrough, I used Gohan because his Masenko seemed like it was going to be pretty simple to do. And I
Yeah.
launched it a few times, but overall it just didn't feel worth it. And I ended
Oh,
up just when I went through the whole game, like my official run, I didn't use a single special the entire game.
Wow. Well, Kyle obviously didn't even know they were moved, so he didn't use any unless they're on accident, right?
Yeah, I was just spinning the joystick in circles.
What about you, Scott? Do you mess with any of the moves?
I tried, yeah. Like I played all the characters a little bit. I don't know. Sometimes it felt like unless you got like a decent amount of charge time on it, like it didn't do that much damage. It just left me open to get smacked. So I tried to use them, but I just didn't like that control. Honestly, just spinning the joystick for moves, just I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't feel good to use.
It was crazy too because typically the attack's like spin the joystick 37 times and then press punch. It's like I don't have time for that.
I get like 2 rotations off, and then dude's in my face again. Like, all right.
Exactly.
I'm looking at the trunks, like, because I just looked at it and I didn't realize that like everybody had 2 moves.
Right.
And so I just seen the one that was like, spin the joystick a bunch of times. So I was just doing that. But now that I'm looking at the other one, it's like you have to go up 3 and then diagonal left, diagonal right 4 times and then punch. It's like when
How
do
do
you
you have time for any of these?
Yeah, Trunks was ridiculous. And then the picture I sent you, it shows like you spin the joystick 6 times and then you spin it 2 times. I think you're supposed to go the opposite direction with
I
like
assume.
the second part of it. But yeah, I could never get his stuff. I couldn't figure it out.
Dude, Piccolo's one is left button, right button, 10 rotations. I
Dude,
can't
when do you
do
ever
that in
have time? Dude? No. I don't understand. Like, this game was way too fast to try that.
I mean, if you time some of the stuff right, like with you jumping in and out, I mean, I used all the characters just to test them out. I thought Goku was pretty difficult to do just because all of his stuff is like 8 and 10 spins. And like, I don't know, just the way you do it. But Piccolo's and I think Goku's Spirit Bomb were pretty similar. You just hold in both the punch buttons and then spin the joystick 10 times, which, yeah, it's tough to do. But if you kind of time in on the enemy right, you can pull it off. But overall, I think Gohan was the easiest. Like his Masenko, like Jordan was saying. You literally, dude, what I did, I was playing on an Xbox controller. I rotated the controller like 90 degrees, so like the joystick's on the top. I put my right palm on that, and I used my left thumb and just held in A, and then just kept on spinning for the whole battle. And I would just constantly shoot Masenkos, and it was pretty much you could outpace most of the battles like that, and they couldn't do enough damage
Jeez.
before you got them.
Wow.
Until the ending battle, so it was get a little trickier. But yeah, Gohan made most of that stuff easy mode. You can just spam that.
I didn't even use any specials up to the boss. Like, for all the normal first 5 fights, I literally just spammed the punch buttons and knocked everybody out. I don't know how. Maybe I got lucky or they're just not that hard in the beginning. I literally just used the punch and, like, it just worked out. Like, they ran into it every time.
I had a typical go-to strategy for just the normal fights, not like the 2 boss fights near the end. It was a flurry of punches, jump away, 2 key blasts, then by then I'm caught back up to them again, and just repeat. Flurry of punches, jump away, 2 key blasts, repeat. And if I see them charging anything, I immediately block. That definitely takes priority.
Yeah, 'cause it's like when you start spamming punch, or if the enemy does, they kind of get like stuck in that animation. They got to keep on going, and then all of a sudden they like slow down for their last punch, and that's kind of a good opportunity to try to throw off a special because they have like a little bit of delay before they can do anything. I would sometimes wait for them to do that with Vegeta, and then hit like the button so you fly away, and then just go nuts on that joystick, and you can throw out like his his final flash, and that took away an entire bar of their HP. So you only land that 2 times, and you can kill like anyone. And then his Big Bang was so easy, you literally just hold in punch, and he'll just keep on doing it. Like every 2 seconds, he fires another one off. So that was kind of like Gohan's, but it seemed a little weaker.
I didn't realize all you had to do was hold it in for some of them.
I think that's the only one you literally just hold in. Go on, you have to hold in and spin the stick. I mean, it works that way, but I think ideally the game kind of wants you to hold it in, spin it twice, and let it off. You know what I mean? I don't think they're planned for you just to hold it in and spam it the whole game.
Whatever works.
And Piccolo's special beam cannon was kind of cool. You hold in punch, and he kind of like swings, and he like pulls his arm to the side, and then you start spinning, then he starts charging up the special beam cannon. Yeah, that one was kind of tough to pull off, but it was pretty cool animation they had there.
I just kept spinning the joystick in a circle until something happened.
Yeah, that works too, I guess. Yeah, I wouldn't play this on my Steam Deck because the way I go crazy spinning that joystick, I'm worried I'm gonna like break it or get myself drift on that controller. So I'd only play with like my Xbox controller on the TV because I was worried about that. Pretty intense on the controller.
DBZ's all about breaking stuff.
Yeah. And I also tried it on the arcade, and it's super hard to do on there because like the rotations, if you used to have a little thumbstick like on an Xbox controller, that thing you can get moving quick, but an actual joystick, like trying to grab it with your hand and like spin it around,
Yeah.
I can't imagine actually playing this in an arcade. It would be rough. I can't believe they didn't have like some sort of energy battle mechanic. This would be perfect for it. You know what I mean? Like you both shoot a blast and you got to keep on spamming as fast as you can, like punch or something, and try to overpower the other guy. That would fit in perfect with the way this game works.
The first one to rotate the stick 50 times wins a battle.
Oh, no thanks.
I think it'd be cool to have like mix it up. Like maybe it pops up and shows like a rotation. You got to do that like 5 times, and then it says like left punch, and you got to, you know what I mean? Whoever's pressing it faster kind of goes in their direction.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's like you need that in this kind of game. But overall, that was kind of fun messing with the different moves and stuff. You guys didn't get too deep into it, but it was pretty fun to switch between them and just. Although they're mostly similar, there are little differences in the way you actually have to pull them off.
Yeah, I tried. Like I said, I mean, as soon as I played the game, I went right to Vegeta and tried to throw out some final flashes, and I was like, this ain't working. So I went to Gohan because his Masenko seemed easier. Like I said, I got a few of them off. It just felt easier to find different strategies. I mean, if you can do it well, if you really have it down well, then absolutely. But it's just like whenever we were doing Street Fighter, man, I'm just not good with these like button combination, joystick spinning kind of things. I'd rather just find my own path.
Yeah, that stuff is like so uninteresting to me.
Well, like special moves and stuff with button combinations?
Yeah, just like remembering button combinations. It's just like, I don't know what it is about it, dude. Like, I don't know. I could just like care less about pressing A, B, up, down, X, Y, blah, blah, spin this way.
Whoa, we're doing
putting a
cheat codes
Konami
here.
code over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
this guy's cheating.
Allegedly.
These were pretty simple, though. I mean, it was kind of hard to figure it out just because how fast-paced it was, and the enemy never really let off. There's kind of constantly putting pressure on you. So it made it a little tough to learn it, but once you figured it out, they really weren't too hard to pull off in this. A lot easier than Street Fighter moves, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not even like the complexity that gets me. It's like, even if it was like press, A, B, right trigger, like I'm already out. I don't care about this. Dude. I don't care about his button
He wants the
combinations.
He wants the Chun-Li kicks. That's all he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I'm
likes them
out,
single
man.
button combos though.
I'll spam a single button, you know what I mean? But other than that, it's like, I don't know.
Oh my god.
What about Halo 2? That was like the button combo game. Your double shots and your BXRs.
Yeah, but that's so different, dude. That's like
Halo. That's FPS Street Fighter right there.
Yeah, but that's like you have all the other things involved with it, and then to do like skillful things, sure you could do the button combo. But when it's like the whole game is just button combos,
Yeah, I suppose. I'm sure some heavy Street Fighter guys out there have a lot to say about that, but yeah, I know what you're going for there.
yeah. I mean, I'm not even a fighter game guy, dude. Like any fighting game, it's just whether it's Street Fighter like side to side style or this thing here we just played, like I don't know, it just doesn't do it.
Well, let's talk about the individual battles then. So there's only 6 battles. The last 2 are really the only notable, I would say. Is there anything when like the first initial fights that stick out to you guys? Because it's just you fight the characters that you can pick from. I thought that was a little underwhelming. I wish they would have had like actual enemies or something. So just the normal fights. Is there anything significant about those? Probably not, huh?
I don't think so. I just there were definitely a lot of times where like these guys are throwing punches, and I'm like, Brad could easily just armbar these guys. You know what I mean?
Jeez, dude.
Just leaving their arm out there, like
That's
Oh
true.
man, they're asking for it.
Begging for it at that point.
Can't do no special beam cannon if we got that arm locked up, boy. He's getting hit with the special B cannon.
Yeah, until Piccolo rips his arm off and grows a fresh one.
He's just locking up with just a random arm. Just rolling around with it.
Yeah, none of the fights were really too different. I mean, besides for the fact they kind of just got like a little tougher each time. I will say my first playthrough, Trunks gave me the freaking work on like the next to last fight. But besides for that, yeah, they're kind of just, they don't change much from character to character.
Like I said, I just kind of spam punched my way through the normal enemies. Like, I didn't really have any strategy. Like, I was trying to be like dodge around and stuff the first time I played. Kind of got wrecked. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's not working. I'm just gonna try punching them, and it like worked. So,
I mean, if it gets you the win, that's all that matters, right?
yeah.
That works mostly up until you get to the last two matches, I guess, because the fifth battle is a mirror match. You fight whatever character you're using, you fight against them. So that match was really weird. It felt like almost like it was buggy or something. I mean, I know it's intentional to be a mirror match, but it's everything you press, they do the same exact thing to you until they don't. Like at some point, you can like kind of like break that like synergy there. I don't know exactly how that match worked, but it was super weird. You guys notice that as well?
Yeah, it seemed like once he got into his second health bar, then he kind of just said screw this and did his own thing. But that first half, it was very confusing to kind of figure out how to take care of it in the first half when he was very much just mimicking your movements. I kind of had to just hit him with like an up close key attack and then start punching. It's like you kind of had to like just knock him off balance for a second. Then once you get, like I said, you get to that second half, then he says game on and just goes for it.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened in that match, to be honest. Till this day, I still don't know what happened.
To this day,
I
like
just
you
did
didn't
it,
just
like,
play
20
it 3
minutes
hours
ago.
ago.
I played it at 7:30, dude,
Jeez, okay.
and it was like
Still
dude,
processing.
It was actually so annoying that I quit the game, and then so I just like put the controller down, and I was literally done playing because I fought him like twice, and he was like mirroring everything I did, and it was annoying. And then like, but during both the times that I fought him, like something happened, something went wrong with like my character, and I would be like in the middle of doing one of his like his sword slash like special move, and my character would get frozen like that. But like the other guy was still fighting me,
Yeah.
and it happened twice. And so like it happened the second time, and I was like, I'm just done, dude. And then I like set it down, and then for some reason, like after like I don't know 2 minutes or whatever, like some time passed. All of a sudden, like I looked back at the screen because it was on the second monitor. I looked back over at it, and I was on the final boss. So I don't
You
know
just
what.
made it
Yeah, they
by
just like
default.
pitied me through the thing. I don't know what happened, honestly, because I literally quit the game.
What happened if you have more HP than the opponent when the time runs out? You do get the win. So maybe you had like a little bit more HP than him, and it just pushed you through.
I don't know. I'd be surprised because my guy was frozen and he was still punching away.
That happened to me too, but whenever that happens, it's like you don't take damage. It's like the game just like glitches out. I did it with Piccolo. I was stuck like in a punch animation. No matter what I did, I couldn't move. Like I could jump in and out, but he was still stuck in that little punch animation. And the enemy kept trying to the other Piccolo, he kept trying to punch me. It just didn't do anything. Like he would do like his little combo, then do like his last punch where he stalls there too, and then nothing would happen for so long, and then I timed out and I lost. I was like, well, that was stupid.
Yeah. I really don't know what got it through there, but I guess the message here is it's okay to quit, guys. Sometimes it works out.
Quitters sometimes win, you know what they say.
That's right.
Just want to put that message out to all the children. Guys,
Very
I
important.
know what everyone's saying, but if you want to quit, just quit, dude.
Well, Scott, what about you? Did you have fun with that fight?
I did not.
No.
No, not in the slightest.
Yeah, it was weird.
Everything was like, I'm alright with the challenge, but like that, if I could just spam punch the first 5 dudes, and then on the next dude, like, I just felt like I couldn't do anything at all. Maybe you guys figured out a pattern, but I couldn't really figure that guy out. Like, I tried so many times, but he just beat me up.
Yeah, I originally tried doing it with Gohan. I couldn't do it, and then I ended up beating him with Vegeta because like if you try to use one of the specials, it seems like they're always gonna outpace you. Like they're gonna do it faster than you. So I would start it up and then kind of go like dodge to the side, so he would use his actual special. So we were kind of on like a different sequence, so we're not doing the same exact thing. Then once you break that sequence, it seems like it's easier to kind of fight them. They, like Jordan said, they kind of just like go off and do their own thing. Sometimes they'll still try to mimic you, it seems like, but it's a lot easier once you like break the first like attempt at it like that, and then you kind of can do some other stuff and do some damage to him. Either way, it got super annoying. There was never anything that felt good about it.
Oh, actually, I do think. I mean, maybe I did like get pushed through because maybe I had more HP. Because now that I'm thinking about it, there was a point where I was fighting him, and if you would just spam your normal attack button, you would always get your punch off before he did. And you could spam the whole thing to where like I didn't get touched once, and I took his entire first health bar away. But then the game would freeze on me,
Okay.
and so maybe that's what pushed me through. But I think you could actually just spam the attack button, and you outpunch him every time.
I think it depends which character you use, because sometimes that worked for me, depending on who I was using. Other times it didn't. So I think it kind of varies. They kind of do a little different depending on who you're actually playing with.
Maybe I only played Trunks, so
Trunks is the easy pass through. Then keep that in mind if you're gonna play this game, anyone.
yeah, just spam normal attack and then quit.
that's the winning strategy. Is
How's
to
that
quit.
for a combo?
All right. Well, then after you finally beat that, if you beat that, you move into the final battle, which is, I guess he's a Majin Ozotto, the super monster, it says on there. And he's an original character for this game. And I think they use him like later in some other like random spin-off stuff, but I think this is where he was originally designed for. But he transforms into different characters. So in the middle of the battle, he'll just like kind of have a flash around him and it'll change into one of the other characters. And I noticed that feels like the only time that you can really attack this dude. If you try attacking him when he's in his base form, it's like there's nothing you can do to break through.
Yeah, you gotta catch him mid-transformation, because then he's kind of just a sitting duck. But you're right, besides for that, he's gonna block pretty much everything that you throw at him.
Yeah, this guy just seemed annoying as well. He was just like, when he was in his actual form, he was just super powerful. Didn't seem like you could do much to him, and he would just like two-shot your health bar away.
Yeah, it was definitely rough. And when he did start to transform, if you immediately attack when he tries to transform, he switches right back to his normal form, starts blocking, and then beats you down again. So I would always just like, as soon as he starts to transform, I would like fly out. Again, with Vegeta, it was super easy. I would fly out, go nuts on that joystick, and try to get off his special before the enemy came in and did anything. Because there's a very short window where you can actually pull something off. And that's all I would do. I would jump back, hit him with the 10 spin, and that would usually take away like half his HP, and then try to get another one. You just kind of got to get lucky, because some of the matches I did against him, it was like the whole match and he wouldn't transform once. So it's like, dude, how can I even beat this if he's not going to transform? So there's definitely feels like there's a little bit of luck involved with it. I'm getting worried, Sky. Did you not beat this one? Did you give up here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You didn't finish him?
I gave it a shot. I could not figure this guy out, man. I couldn't beat him.
An attempt was made. Well, quitters win, Sky. We learned that today.
Many attempts were made. All have failed.
I will say I didn't like beat him, but like I beat him. So every single time I beat him was what you said to Kyle earlier. It was a timeout. So I just had more health than him when I ran out of time. I never once depleted both his health bars. I just always stalled him out.
Yeah, I mean, if that works. I didn't even attempt to, didn't even think of that at the time, but just because whenever I pulled off the final flash, I knew that was the opportunity. You just hit him with like two. Sometimes, I don't know if it goes off, maybe you don't get the full 10 spins in, maybe it's a little weaker or something, because occasionally I would do it and leave him with like a sliver of health left, so it was like, this kind of sucks. But if you pull it off, man, you get two final flashes, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so my strategy with him was more or less the same I said earlier, just minus the punch barrage. 100%, the only thing I did against this guy was jump away, 2 key blast. Jump away, 2 key blast. Just repeat it over and over and over again. Hope you catch him when he transforms, just block everything he does, and just have more health than him when the time runs out. That's all it was for me, man.
Yeah.
Just play pure defensive and stall him out.
Well, I also just quit playing again on this guy.
Quit on him? Did it work?
This time I lost.
My first playthrough, I really considered it. Actually, what happened? So my first playthrough, I got to him on maybe like 5 or 6 credits or something. Then I fought him to the point that I was up to like 20 something, and then like my game, like, it didn't freeze, but there was like a button that was like stuck, pushed in or something, so it was just automatically like the A button or something was just automatically stuck, so I had to restart anyway from the beginning.
The new motto is: you lose some, you lose some.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Maybe if I like had more time, I would mess with it, but I was just, you know what I mean? I just like do the one playthroughs. If something takes me like, if I feel like I have to go like research something to like figure out someone's moves or how to do something, like I'm kind of just done at that point. It does not, you know what I mean? It's not like what I'm here for. Like I'm not here to like, I don't know, research it all and like prove that I can beat the game. I just want to have fun playing the game. And if it's not fun, then I'm just not doing it. I do this weird thing where like if I don't want to do something, I just don't do it.
Doesn't do it.
I kind of live my life by that.
Oh,
See, it's a
man.
good way to live your life, man. You are an adult. You have the option.
This guy acts like he didn't have 2 weeks though to play it. He says if I had more time to play it, he plays
I
it
was
2
busy.
hours before we start.
Kyle has a system, okay? He plays it an hour before we record, no matter what game it is. It's just so it's fresh in his mind. That's the only reason.
I'm sure that's it. But anyways, after you beat him, you get the last Dragon Ball, and then, like I said, each character has a different ending, so they each make their own wish. It summons Shenron, and depending on who you are, they make a different wish. So I thought that was kind of cool. They had, I mean, it wasn't very in depth, but each character did have a different ending.
You want to talk about the endings?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of had a feeling you might have wanted to use that for trivia, so I didn't want to hop in there. I was gonna wait for you to cut me off.
I actually didn't because I thought it'd be too easy.
And I'm gonna be honest, I just kind of had them roughly on the top of my head. I did not have them written down. So do you got anything on those, Jordan?
Okay, so Goku wishes for a ton of food because, them Saiyan boys be hungry. Gohan wishes that his mom would get off his damn back about being a scholar so he can go play with Icarus for a while. Future Trunks wishes for the revival of future Vegeta, which is kind of strange because I feel like he would rather wish Gohan back, but it's beside the point. It's whatever. Piccolo wishes for like the strongest opponent to fight him, and Shenron gives him Mr. Satan to fight.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, I think it's like a monkey's paw thing. I think he wishes for the strongest person in the world. So technically, I guess Hercule was the strongest person.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He gets Mr. Satan, yeah. And then Vegeta's is like he said it wrong or something. I think he said something along the lines of like, I want the world at my feet. And so Shenron turned him gigantic so that he was just big enough to stand on top of the earth.
Oh my god.
Got him
Wow.
too.
And that was all.
Shenron, he'll get you.
I'd be more disappointed with Hercule.
Who knew Shenron was such a little prankster, huh? I never knew he had such a sense of humor.
Man, summoning Hercule, that's a big slap in the face.
That's funny.
I mean, I don't know. That's a good fight, if I do say so
Yeah.
myself. You see all those martial arts tournaments he's won?
Let's do this.
Piccolo starts flying in the air. It's all trick. It's wires. It's movie magic.
all those smoke and mirrors.
Well, Sky and Kyle didn't finish the game, so they didn't get that beautiful credit music. What do you think of that, Jordan?
I don't remember it, honestly.
No? It's just like
No.
a bunch of like sound clips. Like, I don't know. I'll put it here in the podcast for people to listen to, but it's just like wild sounding.
Yeah, it's just like random sound clips from the fights for no reason. Yeah, you're right. I remember now.
Tries to make like a beat out of it or something. It's kind of funny to listen to, but it's so random. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the game. I don't know if there's anything else. We kind of covered everything. It's a pretty simple game, but anything else you guys want to say before we move on?
No, I think that about covers it.
Come good.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we will move into the numbers. Start off with our credits like we always do. See how many credits it took us to finish this lovely game. Well, I guess Kyle and Scott technically didn't finish it, so that just leaves me and you, Jordan. How many credits did it take you?
Like I said, I played this one a good bit of times because I don't know if we really mentioned, but it's an incredibly short game. It can take maybe like 10 minutes to get the whole way through it. As I said, first time I got to Ozotto with like 5 or 6 credits after Trunks dog walked me a few times, and then he cost me a million before the game screwed up. Played it again, got it down to 6, and then I played it again. I got it down to 3, and then I played it again, and I got it down to 2. And I was so dead set on getting it 1, dude. So I got to Ozotto on still just my first credit, and we timed out, and this dude had like a sliver more health than I did. So he just barely beat me. I just missed out on a
Dang.
1 credit run. So I tried it a few more times and just couldn't quite pull it off. So I'm finishing with 2 credits.
Well, I played through it quite a bit as well. Earlier on, it took me like 10 credits, I think, for my first run. Then after a few more tries, got it down to 3. And then I got it down to 2. And I also couldn't get it down to 1. So 2 was my best run as well.
Same thing. That's
crazy.
rough.
Yeah, man.
That's rough.
I got up to... I used Gohan for my best run. I got up to the mirror match with Gohan, and then that strategy didn't work anymore, where I just held in punch and kept on spinning the joystick, because whenever I would shoot a Masenko, since he's a computer, he could shoot off a Kamehameha by the time I could get a Masenko off. So he was doing like the 10 rotation while I was doing like the 2 rotation. So I got killed doing that, and then I pulled out Vegeta and used my my strategy of just hopping away, doing the 10 spin, blast him 2 times and win. And then I pretty much did the same thing on Ozotto. I wait for him to transform, I'd hop out and use my attack, drop half his HP, and do it again. So I had to use a combination of 2 different characters because it was easy to get up through it with Gohan until the mirror match. And after that, Vegeta helped me finish it out with 2 credits.
Yeah, man. It was rough. I
Yeah.
was maybe like a centimeter of health away from a 1 credit run.
Dang.
And I saw there was maybe like 4 seconds left on the timer. And it was like that. Our health was really close. I just went all out. I just went up there and started rushing him, and he blocked every single shot. And I timed out, and it broke my heart a little bit.
Yeah, that's rough. Dude, I was set on getting that 1 credit too, but I was like, I did that 2 credits like last week. So I was like, all right. I started back up this week a little bit to try to like get a feel for it. I was just doing worse. I was like, all right, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm just going to settle with 2. That should be good enough.
Yep.
All right, and we will put our individual ratings on this. This one, just so I can say it, it's over 9,000. We're going to do it at 9,001. That's our rating system today.
Oh, 9,001.
9,001, yep, that's it.
Not bad, not bad.
So I'm just going to go with 4,999. Like I said, the regular fights were kind of lame and easy. That mirror match was super weird and felt like, I don't know, either glitchy or it was just programmed to annoy you. That kind of sucked. The final battle was kind of annoying too, because you could only hurt the dude when he transformed. I just wish there were some different characters to fight too, rather than just like the selectable ones. Give us some other enemies. There's so many to choose from in this game. And the combat was pretty unique, although it wasn't very deep. It was not that amazing, but it was kind of fun, I thought, to at least hop around between the different characters. And let's get some extra points just for being DBZ. So that's my rating.
So I'm giving a lot of extra points for it being DBZ.
Okay.
I mean, I had enough fun with it to play it multiple times. Obviously, as you know, I typically won't do a game more than twice if I don't really have at least a somewhat fun time with it. And I'd say I had enough of a fun time with it, especially once I kind of got it down more. I mean, the first playthrough when I got to Ozotto, I was kind of like, yeah, this is gonna rank pretty bad for me, and then started to figure it out a bit more. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm giving this a lot of bonus points for being
That's
Dragon
fair,
Ball,
that's fair.
just because it's one of the franchises I love more than anything, man. And we've played so many games now where I'm like, I've never seen or heard about this before, and this was refreshing. So I'm gonna give it a 6,661 out of 9,001.
Very nice. You know what? You talked me into it. I'm going up 1,000. I'm going 5,999.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
We're
under
going up.
6,000.
Well, I hate to ruin the party.
That's all right, ruin it, bro.
Yeah.
Every
I'm giving
party
this
needs a
game a-
pooper.
4,500.5.
Oh, we put a
What?
point. He put decimals.
What?
That makes
Is this-
it 50%,
Ladies
right?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our first decimal.
It is. That's true.
4,500.5 is what I'm
Yeah,
giving
can't
this
just
game.
round it.
Honestly,
It's a rounding error.
this is the only game where it was like, I don't know, dude. I feel like it being DBZ was the only thing it had. Like, there was nothing about this game that I liked. Actually, I lied. There's 2 things it had. One, that it was DBZ. The second, that it took about 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was nice.
It's always a
and
good
short.
Other than
bonus.
that, I enjoyed nothing about this game.
Well, that's all right. What about you, Sky? Any enjoyment from you?
Oh, man. Unfortunately, I'm kind of in the same boat as Kyle. I mean, obviously, I sucked at the game. But even still, I love DBZ. I love other DBZ games, too. Like, especially like the Game Boy ones. Like Legacy of Goku and that kind of stuff. So DBZ is like one of the coolest things ever. but I just think this game kind of sucked. Just seemed boring. Like all the fights are the same. The last boss like tore me up, but even if I figured him out and I still beat it, like I don't know, the game doesn't have that much variety, and I really really hate the controls. That stupid spinning the stick is like the worst thing I've ever heard of. I don't know. I didn't enjoy this one. It just seemed boring, and I'd like to give it points for being DBZ, but I can't even give it that. So I'm gonna drop this baby on its head with a 2,000.
Jeez,
dude.
sinking it.
You can't drop babies on their heads, Sky.
I gotta do it, man. I'm doing it.
Some babies need dropped, I guess, huh?
I don't know.
That's the lesson we're teaching here today, guys.
That's right, boys. There's a lot of life lessons in this episode here. Take notes.
It's okay to quit, and some babies need dropped.
I don't know, man. I wanted to love it. It's DBZ. Like DBZ is awesome. I don't think this game was it.
Wonder if it would have been any more fun if we played against each other. Maybe a little bit, just because most things get a little more enjoyment that way. But I wonder if it would have been a little better.
I just think the controls were too bad. Like I don't like that setup at all with the joystick.
Yeah, it's definitely different. All right, well, let's move into our overall rankings among all the games we played for the podcast so far. This is the 36th game. Where does it fall in the tier list?
It's gonna be a rough one, I can just tell.
Yeah, this is not going to be a mutual agreement.
Yeah, I'm starting off with I'm just gonna say a range about mid-20s for me.
Okay, I was expecting worse from you, to be honest.
I mean, there's still some kind of bad games underneath that. I don't know. Mid to maybe higher 20s.
Jordan, what are you thinking?
I mean, I'm obviously it's not going to end up here because we're going to have to meet in the middle somewhere, but I'm more
Right.
around like 12, 13.
Okay, and my written down before we even talked, I had 12 to 20, so that's kind of my range.
It's a big range.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's leeway for if I get exactly what I want versus what someone else might like, so that's kind of anything in that range I'd kind of be okay with. Anything above or below, I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about it.
Here's a big thing for me. I would hate putting this below Cross Swords because it's fairly similar, but I would much rather play this, especially considering it's like 1/20th the length of that game.
I mean, just as a game, though, I think Cross Swords was a better game. Just like the way the mechanics, the way it controlled and stuff. It was way longer, but I mean, just the game itself.
I'll make the counter argument here of Jordan thinking he likes this game so much, but I bet that he only likes it as much as he thinks he does because it was so short. If you had extended this game to be like a 20-25 minute game, he would have hated it because it would have been the same boring thing and so repetitive that like I think if you took half these games that we've already played and took them down to 10-15 minutes, then like their entire rankings would change because some of them could be actually enjoyable for 10 minutes, but anything over that and you realize how bad it is.
I think if it hit 30 minutes, that's when I would start to be like, okay.
All right, imagine this game. You have to do 40 fights though. Would you still like it?
Say 40?
40 fights in a row to win the game. Would you still like it?
Why would it be 40?
I don't know. We're just going extreme on it. We're just going.
Throwing crazy numbers
That's
out there.
too
We're just going.
extreme.
Exactly. It outstays its welcome.
Kyle wouldn't be done playing it till tomorrow morning.
Sure, I would have quit a long time ago.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just real quick, just to throw a number out here, I was thinking somewhere like 28-ish.
Ooh, way down there, huh? Under 2 crude.
I guess maybe 25, like under Metal Slug probably.
And I do like you're giving Metal Slug some love, but you know, that's tough.
Maybe we meet somewhere. We have 2 that are way down there, one that's pretty high up there, and one that's kind of like higher middle range.
Yeah.
So maybe we kind of meet somewhere around like the low 20s or so, like from 19 to 23-ish or so, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and like the Mega Twins Twin B range. You guys, how you feel about that?
Ooh.
You could go like
I could put that
below
under.
Mega Twins.
Yeah, I think at 22, I'd be all right with.
As much trash as you talk on Mega Twins, you put this under that still. Man, this guy does not like this game.
I think so, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
What do you think, Jordan?
I can accept that.
Except 22?
Yeah, I think fighting for anything higher is a bit of a losing battle. I'm okay with it. I'm not going to fight to the death for this one.
Goku would, so, I mean...
Well, Goku just wants to fight whoever's the best. Goku's out there fighting alien syndrome because it's number 1.
That's true.
Oh my God.
He's gonna fight Carson to the death.
Carson.
Help us, Carson! Carson!
We gotta revive Carson with the Dragon Balls.
Super Saiyan Carson, look out.
We're just gonna lock it in at 22, guys. Any more fighting for this?
No,
Yeah, that
that's
sounds
okay.
good.
All right, we got Mega Twins at 21, Dragon Ball Z V.R.V.S. at 22, and Dead Connection at 23. Jordan, let's see what kind of DBZ trivia we got tonight. I'm excited.
Let's do some DBZ V.R.V.S. trivia. So leading the way is Sky. You're really pulling ahead, Sky. My God, I didn't even notice this. 65 compared to Brad with 54 in second place. Kyle still accomplishing his goal of being in third place at 49.
Yes.
Let's hop into it. Question number 1. This game was originally planned to be ported to what gaming console before the idea was scrapped because of poor console sales? A, the Nokia N-Gage, B, the Philips CDI, or C, the Panasonic 3DO?
I think the Philips.
Okay, that is the CDI. That's B.
I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to copy Skylar because I have not heard of any of these systems.
Alright, follow. So we're going with a follow the crowd day for Kyle, so that's B.
And I'm saying the 3DO.
The correct answer is the Panasonic 3DO.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of the N-Gage and the CDI. I've never heard of the 3DO until I saw this and I looked into it a bit. It's actually a controller with 3 buttons on it, so it kind of works for the game.
I feel like all those are probably failed consoles.
I think the CDI died in like 1999. The Nokia N-Gage was like a phone, kind of, wasn't it? Like, I don't imagine it did anything too great. But yes, correct answer, it's Panasonic 3DO. Moving on to question 2. So before its cancellation, the 3DO port of this game was going to add in what Dragon Ball villain? A, Cell, B, Frieza, C, Janemba.
We'll have to say my boy Cell.
Okay.
Alright, I'm also going Cell, but I want to, it could be Frieza, but then I think if you put Frieza in, then Frieza would have had to have been the final boss. Because you couldn't have him as just a random guy you fight.
I'm not confirming nor denying if it's the final boss or just a normal character. He's just in the game. That's all I said, is he's just adding it. He's added to the game.
Well, we're going with Cell.
Sure.
All right, yeah, the correct answer is Cell. And I kind of thought that was going to be a little obvious after Brad mentioned earlier that this game takes place in those 9 days before the Cell games. So
Yeah.
I considered going to the bonus question, but the bonus question sucked, so I just stuck with it. I thought maybe somebody would think, well, I don't know, Janemba's kind of cool. But correct answer is Cell. Question 3, Ozotto never appeared in the original Dragon Ball manga, but to advertise the game, he was mentioned on the cover of what chapter of the manga? A, 405, B, 429, C, 451.
All right, I knew the other two. This one I'm just going to say B because I have no idea.
Okay.
What's C, the 451?
Yes.
I'm just going to go with the latest one.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I literally forgot all the numbers you just said, so I'm gonna say B. I'm going
Doesn't
B.
matter.
Whatever that is.
That's 429, which is the correct answer, and which also
Hey.
gives Brad a clean 3-for-3 sweep today.
All right, I know my DBZ, boys.
He's a true Super Saiyan.
Bringing Brad to 57. Sky, you got 1. You're at 66. Kyle, 2. You're at 51. And that will wrap up some Dragon Ball Z virtual reality versus trivia.
Alrighty, boys. Any final words for DBZ? It might be a while till we see another one of these again.
Well, hopefully the next one's better. That's all I can say.
I feel like Jordan should do his Nappa impression real quick.
Brad, what's on Arcadiology on the next episode?
The next game we'll be playing is called Trick Trap. You can follow us on social media at Arcadiology. We'd appreciate it if you leave us a 5-star review. We'd like to read some of those on here if you leave us something cool to say. If you want writing questions for us to read on the show, you can send it to arcadiologyquestions@gmail.com, or there will be a Google form in the description. You can just click on that, take you right to it, and we'll read it here at the end of an episode. But also want to give a shout out to John Good. You can find his music on SoundCloud. He has stuff on Newgrounds at Burn7. I use the little song he made for us for the intro and outro of this. It's actually a metal version of the song Sky made for the show. So a little shout out to him for making that. I thought that would be fitting for a DBZ episode.
Yeah, my man. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
It is sick.
The way I met him was through their podcast. They have a show called Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z, where it's two guys, John and Spencer. They are rewatching the whole show. They already finished DBZ, but now they're on Super. But they will like watch like an arc, and then they'll talk about like each like set of like 5 episodes, and they bring Eric on at the end of like the arc and explain it to him to try to explain the show to him. It's pretty funny though. I've listened to all their stuff. Definitely check it out if you're into DBZ. It's great. Anyways, that should wrap us up, guys. Yeah, ready to get out of here?
I'm out.
I'm ready, Vegeta. Goodbye.
Yeah, huh?
The amount of Krillin appearances is unreal tonight, boys.
There's no way Krillin will be on alive this long to do all
Why
that.
was he not in this game? Anyway.
All right, later, boys.
Later.